What if I told you that the world is not real? Every fear you carry was programmed into you. You didn't choose it, but you can delete it. Now, with renewing the mind, the battlefield is the mind, and victory begins with what you believe. The old you was built by survival, and this new you is being built by your vision, which is the subconscious. Now, having self-control is spiritual strength. Your self-control is your superpower. It's not restriction, it's spiritual freedom. Now, discipline is not a punishment. It is alignment with the future version of yourself. The world is a simulation. You are the main character in a beautifully coded illusion. None of this is happening to you right now. It's all happening from you. So the trauma isn't who you are. They weren't conscious when they hurt you. And you don't have to carry that unconsciousness because they were not real at that standpoint of life. So let that person go. Let that experience go, because the person that you are becoming is too powerful to drag that pain that they didn't even choose theirself. So the past is a story, but it's not a sentence. You were taught fear and you were inherited doubt. That doesn't make it yours to keep. So if you knew your world was not real, would you still believe your pain was permanent? Ask yourself that. You are the creator of your experience. You're not reacting to reality. You are writing it. So the imagination is not a fantasy. It's a preview of what your life is, what your life can be. So the alignment with God and the present moment is what you need to focus on, because as you raise your antenna with God, he's broadcasting it right now. So detach from your outcome and anchor into the present moment. That's where the miracles move, because the future does not exist. The past does not exist. When you start to tell yourself that this present moment, you are in a simulation and everything is not real, you start to seek God more. You start to say, why do I fear? Why should I fear if none of this is real? Why must I detach from the outcome? Because you have seen it already. You can ultimately feel this vision right now. Imagine yourself having every single desire that you want. And I want you to just align yourself with who you actually are at that present moment. And that right there is what you must do and become and be. So anytime some event may pop up, a person may say, oh, you're broke. Oh, you don't have this. Oh, it's not the fact that you don't have it. It's because you've had it 100x, 1000x. There's two different people. People will see a supercar, a Lamborghini, a McLaren, a Rolls Royce, and say, oh my gosh. They'll look the other way and be like, oh my gosh, don't embarrass me. Another person will be inspired, like, wow. Another person, another human has obtained this materialistic thing that other people get ashamed of, that they can actually obtain as well, but also it doesn't even exist. So it's like when you start to realize your alignment with who you want to become must be in this present moment. As you practice it, as you go on and wake up every morning and say these affirmations day in, day out, and just continuously pray and stay in alignment with this mindset, with this version of yourself that you want to be, you start to see yourself being that actual version, because that's who you are. That is what the characteristic, that is the actual trait that you must adopt, you must obtain permanently to actually be that version. So again, imagine yourself having everything. How do you think? How do you talk? What are the habits that that higher version of you has in display? What do you think about? What are the habits of those gaps of when you do mindlessly scroll, or you do gossip, or you do just unconsciously be unaware? I'm not telling you that it's bad to do that, but you need to get to this version first so that you can do this, right? You want the body, you need to cut all the mess out. Cut it all out, because you can get to that once you get the body. If you want the money, once you get the money, you can partake and go take a drink, go do whatever. But for this standpoint of life that you are at right now, you have to sacrifice something so that you can become so aligned with the universe and what God has planned for you on your path that everything stays in what it's supposed to be on your path. So your identity is the fluid. It's not being fixed. Your concept of yourself is optional and changeable. You don't manifest what you want. You manifest what you believe you are. So you're in control of this simulation. So if you can feel it, you can actually live it. And that's not the magic. That's law. That's the reality that we are in. So this world mirrors your thoughts, mirrors who you are. And you're the only one that is actually holding the remote. So anytime that you feel yourself drifting away and starting to have doubt, starting to have fear, just remind yourself that you are in a simulation. Everything that is happening is not even real. And you won't even have fear anymore, because we all are interconnected. That's why you must help each other to ultimately become at oneness, at alignment phase. Because even though Jesus did have people that did not believe that there were a God, some people did believe it. So the people that did believe it followed him. And what ended up happening is, I'm referring back to the movie that I watched. And what ended up happening is people who did follow Jesus ended up also getting punished, but they hid behind the curtains, kind of. It wasn't actual curtains, but what it was is they knew what was happening to Jesus, so they didn't want it to happen to them. So what they did was stay silent, right? They didn't want to suffer with Jesus, which is why Jesus has died for all of our sins. So when you ultimately become at oneness with who you want to become and who you want to be, you realize you have to be it now. Understand that everything in your life that has happened hasn't happened. It's not real. Anyone that is actually physically or even mentally hurt you in the past, let it go, because it was not real. If you knew that every desire that you had has happened and is happening at this present moment, how would you think about that person that actually has hurt you physically or mentally? You wouldn't care. You wouldn't. So I want you all to practice this and just wake up, write some affirmations, and I want you to practice saying that this is a simulation. This is not real. Who I want to be is happening right now. And I want you to pray 7 times a day for 30 days straight. Let's see how you are consciously evolving within. And just start to notice what everyone and everything starts to bring towards you. If you start to notice things differently, don't try to dismiss it. Try to understand, why is this happening right now? What is this actually meaning? Is this a sign? Is this something for me to say or do or to study, to look up, right? Yesterday, I seen a crow and I started to look up, what does that mean? Crows, what do that mean? What does a crow mean when they start to come around? It pretty much means change, you know? And there are bad sides of what crows being in the present moment, being in your present moment can mean. But what I took from it was positivity. And that is why you ultimately become this alignment of who you want to be at this highest version. Because at my highest version, I look at a crow as one of God's creatures that was sent to be in my vicinity to let me know a sign that I am physically, mentally, spiritually, financially, and all of the above just changing. So that lets me know that I am in alignment. And I want you to just practice it. And this is day 4 of not listening to any music. Of course, I have my babies. They have their baby sharks getting spammed on the TV and the other stuff, the other kid stuff. But it's ultimately, when I'm by myself, I listen to the higher alignment waves and the high vibrating sounds that just on YouTube have. And if you want any, comment which ones do I listen to, or just ask me in my Instagram DM. And if you also want to talk further about just being more in alignment, and if you have any other troubles just becoming that version of yourself, to be at alignment and be at peace without self-doubt, without fear, without self-criticism, without all of this make-believe illusion, please hit me in the DMs. I love you all. I'll see you in the next video. Deuces.